Bam. Hey, how you doing? Live.
Doing
I know
well.
you typically. Hey, I know, world. You typically don't see me at 5:30 in the afternoon, but I made a special occasion, or exception, or whatever you call it, so that I can have the brand new head coach of the new program starting at University of Rio Grande, Coach Jason Schweer. A little bit about Coach before he gets into his brand new program that he's starting at Rio Grande in Ohio. He coached at the Ozarks. He coached at Grandview. He wrestled at Grandview, who is, if you don't know about Grandview, they have won 9 straight NAIA national titles, correct?
That's right.
So, and we've had several of their people on so far, and we have several coming. So
I bet.
okay, great. So he came from that amazing program. He also wrestled there on their first national title team with, some guy named Omi Acosta. I'm sure none of my Florida peeps out there know him.
Nah, probably not.
He was a 2-time NJCAA All American and a 2-time NAIA All American. So Rio Grande is getting a good man to start their program, and we're getting a good man to talk to. How are you, sir, man? Talk about getting through the other side of this and just starting to get open and get out there and being able to recruit.
Yeah, man, it's been wild. I'm going to correct you real quick. Those All-Americans were academic. I'm not going to try and claim anything that I didn't earn, but I appreciate it nonetheless. But yeah, like you said, it's been pretty wild. I think for me to start this program, the timing of it, but in classic Schweer fashion, I'm doing it the hard way. And I was thinking about this earlier, that it's never really going to get worse, probably. So next year is going to be better, and the year after that, and the year after that, we can always look back and think about, man, what the heck were we doing?
Yeah, so here we go. We got this we got this new program starting up, and then we get into this coronavirus. So obviously you're put at kind of a standstill. Now we're coming out the other end. But awesome, man, starting a program out there at Rio Grande, and he pronounces it the Rio Grande for all you folks out there that need help with that.
Think Rio like Ohio.
Rio like Ohio. So talk about your vision, your philosophy, what your goals are, the kind of culture you want to build there.
Yeah, man, I think the new school, same attitude, same approach. We're going to take it slow, bringing in the right guys, the guys that are going to take care of school, that are going to take care of, being a good steward of the program. And then, if we're doing those two things, we got all the time in the world to get better at wrestling, and that's what we're going to do. I think being where we're located, we're right in the middle of some of the best wrestling in the country. A lot of, nationally ranked programs within 250, 500 mile radius. That's a pretty big number, but, in the wrestling world, what's a mile? What's 500 miles?
Sure.
For all of our Florida friends, they know. And, finally, after years and years and years, we're starting to get wrestling down into Florida at the college level at 4-year programs. So, that's exciting, and we're going to be in that conference. So that's also exciting. Who doesn't like going to Florida in January?
Yeah, it's got to be nicer than Ohio in January.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll find out here soon.
Greg Offenberger said, "Good luck, Coach."
Oh, hey, Greg.
Awesome, man. So obviously you were a wrestler at the NAIA level.
Yep.
And over the last few years, man, talk about the growth of it. They've got as many programs as in D1, don't they? 79 now or something?
It's somewhere in that whereabouts. Yeah, it's crazy. I was just looking at I went back to find brackets from that first year, second year of Grandview winning it. And, the brackets were a little bit smaller, right? There were some guys that maybe didn't necessarily meet the bill to be there, but in the NAIA back then, it was kind of a let's just get guys and let's wrestle. And now over since that, 8 years, we went from 43, if that, maybe less than 40, and now we're up close to 80. So with that growth, we've also seen a lot of talent that's come with it. It's for a while there, I think people were like, you wrestle what? For, like, oh, you must not be very good if you wrestle in this division or that division. And, we're starting to see guys really compete at a high level, going out and competing at Midlands pretty regularly now, getting some guys placing, and just hanging L's on some of those D1 guys and the D2 guys. And that's a great thing about our sport is, everybody puts their singlet on the same way, and we get to bang heads and get after it at open. So that it's a great opportunity for those guys that think, hey, D1 or die. Nah, man, like come here. We'll still go put L's on those guys. It's just going to be in a different singlet than what you thought.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I know NAIA, the growth of girls has been incredible too, right? And is your goal? I know one step at a time, right? But I would imagine girls should be coming behind you at some point.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot sooner than later. We've already had a few discussions about what it looks like and figuring out a timeline to roll it out. But in light of recent events, even, everybody's going to be after enrollment and growing numbers from a university standard. So greedily for me, that means more opportunity for all our folks that want to compete and starting a women's program. But nothing's been set in stone yet. But it's coming.
Yeah, and I've had a number of Florida woman studs that are now coaches out there in the NAIA and doing a great job. One is at your alma mater in Adelise Valles.
Yep, that's right.
I hope I said that right. She's going to be mad at me.
Yeah, I don't want her mad at you either. So yeah. Hopefully that was right.
Yeah, and then you've got Ashley Sword down with Omi over at.
Right.
So that's it's great to see them coming down there, and it's good to hear that more programs are opening up and giving opportunity to kids. Have you been able to put your staff together yet? Do you have that built up yet, or am I looking at the staff right now?
It's a one-man shift right now. I do have a guy hired. It's just a matter of actually getting the paperwork done. So I'll leave the mystery for about another week or two before all that paperwork gets done. But he's a stud. He's going to be a great addition for us, and it's just going to help me a ton. Separating some duties, helping me actually get on to my to-do list of 800,000 things that need to be done before the fall. So I'm excited to be bringing him in, and there's a few local guys that have thrown their hand up and said, hey man, we'll come in when we can, and this and that. So I think that's where it's going to start. That's what happened at Grandview. It's just Rio Grande isn't exactly Des Moines. Its size is the town and the jobs and all that, but you end up in a big city that has folks that can go work and then come in a few hours here and there. I mean, look at what Coach Omi's doing. He's built a big staff out there of guys that are in the Atlanta area that want to help out. So it's just a matter now of kind of grassrooting it big time, and that's going to help. That's going to happen as things open up and I can actually go get in front of people. So this is a pretty good substitute right now, but nothing's like the real thing, getting out and shaking hands and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few coaches on from small Ohio schools, NAIA Division III. And they say, man, if we could just hold a bucket and get the raindrops that like Ohio State doesn't get, right, we still get the greatest talent in America, according to Ohio natives. Yeah. So it can't. So I figure you get a few of those, you get a few of the Florida guys, you get some big studs, man, you'll be awesome. And it's great for the opportunity. So I know that you have been very involved in fundraising over the years at multiple stops along the way. I read a lot of really cool articles that spoke about how good you are at it, how important it is to you, how it's helped you grow, programs and stuff along the way. How important is bringing that knowledge and bringing that process going to be into growing a new program?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what articles you're reading. I didn't think I was that good at it myself, but I must be doing something right. But fundraising, especially in small college athletics, it's lifeline. What we do and what we want to get done doesn't get done without fundraising. So I have a couple ideas of what we're going to try and put together out here. I've tried a couple different things over the last couple stops to see what works, what's a good fit, maybe that wasn't the right look. So right now, like I said, just like with recruiting, it's kind of getting out in front of people. I got enough to do trying to find recruits right now. I can't be cold calling fundraisers and doing that sort of thing. So once we get a roster put together, we're going to use those guys as guys to reach out and, shake their trees, so to speak, as far as the contacts they have. And, it's hard to fundraise for what is essentially nothing right now. So once things start getting put together, I think we'll be able to do some cool things. And, at the end of the day, the fundraising thing, it doesn't go to me. I wish it did, but it goes to help maybe a stipend for our assistants. A lot of it goes towards travel and gear. And so like when we do come down to Florida, instead of, smoking the bandy in it down and back real quick, we get to take an extra day or two and hang out on the beach and just kind of enjoy some fellowship and some time letting loose. So that's kind of my vision for that is, create opportunities for our guys to enjoy each other and enjoy hanging out. And, we're going to go wrestling and we're going to go beat people. But at the end of the day, the student experience of being a part of this program, of this wrestling family is what we're after. So that's that's what beats the fundraising for me is, let's make this a cool experience for our guys.
That's awesome. And talk about that. I know we spoke about your philosophy, your culture, and kind of what your ideas are. What intangibles are you looking for when now that you're going to hit the recruiting trail and you're going to start to go after some kids? I'm sure they've got to be of the certain mindset, academic focused, wrestling focused, but what type of room are you trying to put together?
Man, right now, I'm looking for pulses, and it's a weird thing to say, but just starting when we did and where we're at in the recruiting cycle, just about everybody I've talked to already has an idea where they're going or where they think they want to go. And so I think we're gonna try and still salvage guys through July, and then we'll start looking at 2021 and start getting out in front of those guys and making those connections. But the guys I'm looking for are guys, like I said, that are not going to be getting into trouble, right? And Rio it's small, so if you're getting into trouble, I'm going to know about it probably before you know about it. So I mean, we can't be doing that. But the nice thing of being in a smaller environment is it's a lot of opportunity to focus on why you're here, which is to go to school and to get better at wrestling. So that's what I'm looking for mostly is personality and some integrity there. Credentials, as the credentials don't really mean a whole heck of a lot. Once that whistle blows, you don't start with 5 points because you want a state championship. So there's a lot of guys that, especially, up here and just like in Florida, there's guys that didn't make the dance that are still tough as nails and they got a chip on their shoulder and they want to get better and they want to go smash those guys. So you don't have to be a world beater to come wrestle for me. You just got to want it. That's
Awesome.
about it.
We got an Omi Acosta sighting. You the man, Coach Schweer.
No, you the man.
He found you.
He got me.
Are you you're gonna add Lucha Rio?
Oh, that's not a bad look. I don't know how much he'd like it, but it'd be pretty fun to walk around with that.
Neon green and black, the best colors in.
They're pretty good. I'm happy to be back to black and red. That's a familiar feeling, familiar territory for me. So
makes you feel like you're home, right?
That's right. That's right.
Man, that's awesome. Well, so is there anything that is there anything else you want to speak about the new program, what you're building? Do you want to make a shout out to any recruits out there? Do your thing, man.
Man, I don't have any shout outs in particular. Guys, if you're out there and you want to wrestle, this is the place to be, man. We're going to do something really cool. This is going to be a fun environment. I know wrestling's hard enough as it is. So, we'll have fun. There'll be fun peppered in there. It might not feel like fun at the moment, but the things that we always look back on are those crazy workouts that Coach Mitchell put us through. You ask anybody at Grandview about the hill, and there's some horror stories. But yeah, I think this is excellent opportunity for guys that are in state. Man, we can do some cool things with tuition and save some dough. We have some arrangements with states across the Midwest. So yeah, we might be a little far away, but we can be definitely an affordable option. And this day and age, especially with everything going on, finances is a big part of it. So, we're going to do our best to take care of you in that regard. But if you come to Rio, man, you won't regret it. That's a fact.
And how cool would it be to be that first class, that first team? It doesn't seem like much now, but 10 years from now, people are going to say, hey, those 13 guys, those 14 guys, those 20 guys,
right?
They were our first this, they were our first that. You're really going to have some importance in a program that you're starting out. So, man.
Yeah. I had that experience. I know there's some Florida guys that can go up that way. At North Iowa Area Community College at NAIA. I was there for that first year as an athlete, and man, we had a lot of fun. There was some trouble probably, but nobody got caught, so we had fun, and nobody got hurt. But it is fun, and you talk to the guys that were there, the year one guys from Grandview. Man, like, how special is that to be year one guy, and then your senior year, you're winning a national title. Like, I got chills just thinking about it. And I was happy that I transferred in, but I got to be a part of that. And for those, I think there were 4 guys that made it from year one that were, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, that made it. And man, those guys are awesome. They have all the respect from all of us because they had the dark years of Mitchell when things got rowdy. And, just he was figuring stuff out just like I'm going to be figuring stuff out. So these year one guys, they're going to have a badge of honor. That's for sure.
Yep. And guess who was, 10 years later or 14 years later, he was voted coach of the year this year. So
that's right.
I had a Florida kid on earlier this week that said, man, that guy really changed his life. And he's out there wrestling now. So Mitchell must be a good dude.
The best, man. There's a reason why he gets all those awards. They don't just give those things away.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm so glad I was able to get you on. I know that we had to get that voice on here quickly so people can see this, can hear this, and then now you also have a video that you can share throughout all these platforms about what you're doing, what you're building. So feel free to click away, share away, and it's all yours. You ready for the 10 questions?
Yeah, but first, man, I want to say thanks. We kind of hustled this one out to get me on here earlier. You're booked out all the way probably into July now. So whatever you're doing is working, man, and it's exciting to see another avenue of what's going on here with wrestling. And I just saw on Twitter today that a couple more wrestling podcasts are taking off, and I think this the quarantine has been good for something. So I'm excited about this, and I'm looking forward to what you're going to do moving forward. Yeah,
I'm excited. I have a purpose, and my purpose was if you're in wrestling, I want you to talk to the nation, to the world, because I've seen what it's done for my son over the last couple of years, but I've seen what it's done for so many. And it's a sport that I think people need to know about. And I think there's a lot of troubled youth out there that, the suicide rate is high. A lot of this stuff is high. And I think if we catch a lot of those kids that are having that low self-esteem, that are having issues, that are being bullied, if we can catch them and just get them in front of a wrestling coach, we can really change them. And I've seen the wrestling coaches do that over the last few years. And I've heard of the stories. And we just need to, there's an avenue for these kids, and wrestling just seems to change lives. And if you have somebody that's down in the dumps, male, female, whatever they are, man, try and get them into a sport, preferably wrestling. I like wrestling. I think wrestling really creates this, but I just feel like wrestling does it, and more people need to be in it.
Yeah, 100%, man. I was one of those kids too. I think you look up and down a roster at just about any institution, any high school, any kids club. There's kids that see some crazy stuff that God knows they shouldn't have seen. But with wrestling, man, it's really changed. It's changed my life 1,000%, and I know it changes a lot of lives out there. So I agree wholeheartedly, man. And like I said, I'm excited to see what you're going to continue to do with this.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And the kind words means a lot. So thank you for the support. All right. You ready?
You bet, man.
Dirty Dog or East Bremer?
Oof. I guess probably have to go Dirty Dog.
I did my research.
You did. I wasn't ready for that.
Pizza Ranch or the other place?
Oh, the OP all day.
The OP all day. All these calls have helped because I got to see what the good places are. So when I come to visit, I just got to go back to my notes, be like, okay, I want to hit that for pizza, that for hot dogs.
That's right.
All right, Cedar Bend Park or the Navy Pier?
Ooh. I haven't done Navy Pier yet, so I'm gonna have to go with the hometown classic.
Cedar Bend Park. All right. Fried catfish or chicken fried steak?
Man. Catfish.
Arkansas barbecue or Iowa barbecue?
Ooh. This is gonna hurt some people's feelings, but Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas probably.
Fried okra or fried pickles?
That's depends on what you're in the mood for, man. But I think I'd have to go pickles.
And a cold beer.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. I was doing some research in these areas you have visited over the years, and there was one area that makes a taco pizza or a breakfast pizza.
For talking cases, you can't miss with either one, but definitely I'm a big breakfast pizza guy.
I like it. It gave me some ideas. All right, so we got the chocolate cream pie or the rhubarb pie?
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Blank Park Zoo or the Walter Scott Aquarium?
Ooh. Throw it up for Blank Park.
All right. Hometown Waverly, Iowa or Clarksville, Arkansas?
Man. That's definitely I think you can't beat home, man. Waverly's going to be number one for a while.
So I had to go with your last two spots because there was, you've only been at Rio for a minute, so I couldn't.
That's fair. Yeah.
Reach out to Ohio and start looking for things. But
yeah, give me a year and I'll have some. I'll have a hit list for you.
Yeah, I went back to what you know.
That's right.
And all those at breakfast pizza, it looked legit.
It's killer, man. That's the way to go.
I look at all these. I talk to people, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, whatever, these Midwest towns, Texas, and then I'm looking up for the 10 questions. And I'm like, man, I want to go eat there.
Definitely worth the trip.
It's good stuff. Hey, man, if you ever want to use my platform for anything, if it helps, it's there for you. Just hit me up like you did, and we'll jump on, man. I'll make room for you. And I do appreciate all you're doing for the wrestling community, and God bless you starting a new program. And I wish you all the best of luck.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. And you got another fan right here. I get to be a fan of all these people that I have on. Everybody's gaining a new fan. So
that's awesome. Well, hey, once I finally get some gear ordered, we'll get you hooked up.
I love it, man. Thank you so much.
You bet.
See you, brother.
See you.